Hello, welcome back to a very, 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 very special episode of the Corn Bros. I'm one of your
That's
bros.
all we do is specials.
No.
It's always special.
No.
It's always special in Philadelphia.
You do a series. I do multi-series that end after usually 4 or 5 episodes. But, so, I'm one of your bros, Aaron.
I'm your other bro, Jacob.
And this has been a year in the making. Literally a year in the making. So what had happened is, I think we were just getting kind of burnt out. It's just basically me and you kind of doing stuff on the channel. And I came to the point where I'm like, I'm tired of editing. This is 2021. No, this is 2020. This is 2020. And so, of October. So, and there was also games that we wanted to play. So it was getting kind of busy. So we're like, okay, let's put this to the side. But we also started the Smash Bros. Thing.
Oh yeah, that project that really didn't come to fruition.
Well, it did. It came back in the place of the Halloween episode, but in 2021, I'm like, hey, we got three more episodes to do, and then we'll be at 20 episodes. So we're in 2021. So we might as well just make it 2020 or 20. God, I can't talk. We'll make it 21 episodes. So yeah, so this is the long-awaited Halloween episode that we were leaving off last year that we were gonna do. So I figured Halloween for me is probably one of the more depressing times. Not depressing time, but for me, I'm a spring guy. You know, I like seeing life. I don't know what the fuck these people were like. Yeah, I love seeing when the trees die. I love. Yeah, like it's cool. I mean, yeah, whatever floats your boat. I mean, if you like seeing things die, that's Halloween's your type of thing for you. I'm not judging you, but I am. Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
No, I'm waiting.
Okay. Well, do you have something you're gonna say?
Well,
because I know you're a fall guy.
I am a fall guy.
You like death.
It's the rustling.
You and Mom are like
it's
death.
It's the rustling of the leaves, the scent in the air
of death.
Yes. The bugs retreating to hell.
I agree. I agree with that one.
And then it finally not being so hot that your shirt sticks to you whenever you go outside.
I like that.
And then, you know, the oranges and the yellows and the whatevers.
I think October, out of the fall, October is probably my favorite month of the fall because it leads up to Halloween. As I think I've never known the timeline for spring, fall, summer, and winter. Because, like, winter is, like, in December, right?
Yeah, winter is December 21st.
Which I always thought was weird.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, I would say, to me, winter, because I always go by school. So you start your fall class in September, and then that's, like, 2 months. And then you start your second trimester, which is the winter trimester, in November.
I mean, you started after Thanksgiving break.
Right, yeah. So that would be...
So it's the first week of December.
Yeah, so I always assumed that... I always just put winter as December, the first week of December, and then spring was always the third trimester was always spring.
Yeah.
But I digress. So, yeah, so October is always my favorite. So, basically, what I wanted to do with this episode is just kind of talk about the month of October, what we do to get excited for horror, if you do anything to get excited for horror, memories of October and stuff like that. I do have a memory, and I'm going to say it now before I forget. So, this happens actually in November. But, do you remember a game called Fantasy Life?
Mm-hmm.
So, this game came out, I think, 2012? I didn't Google it.
I want to say either 13 or 14.
Because I don't think it was 13, because I think 13 is when I moved out, the first time in the house. It was like our last...
It was 2014.
Was 2014 Fantasy Life?
October 23rd, 2014.
Oh! Yeah, because I moved back in. And that's because we got the dog.
It did come out in Japan in 2012.
Maybe we got a Japan copy. We just didn't know it. So
Came out after Christmas in Japan.
So that game has always resonated with me, and I wish we had a 3DS I could play it, because I would love to play this game again. Not play it.
You mean a
capture card? Because it was one of those weird games. Because I remember, because I just moved back in, I was like, "Hey, Mom, I've been living out on my own for a year. Can I get a dog? I'll take care of it." No, you can't get a dog. No dog for you. All right, we're going to go we're going to go a week somewhere. And then they come home like, "Hey, by the way, boys, we got a dog." China.
I don't know. I thought they...
I don't remember.
I thought we had the dog before they went out.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, because, okay, I changed it a little bit. When I moved back in, literally less than a month, then that's when they got the dog.
Yeah.
And then they went on vacation, and then we had this dog that was scared shitless, and still scared shitless of me, who hates me after... Now, a funny story about this. My dad's like, "Oh, yeah, in 2 weeks? Yeah, that dog's gonna like you." 2 weeks later. "Well, I mean, give it a month." A month later. Nope. We'll give it 6 months. Okay, 6 months later. Nope.
No, this dog is stubborn as hell.
This dog remembers.
This dog likes 2 people.
Who's the second person?
Dad.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that's only if Mom's not around.
Dog kind of warmed up to you a little bit. I mean, she doesn't like you, but...
Only if nobody else is around and she's terrified of something else.
But...
She has come up to me once. And that was because there was a thunderstorm and I was the only one home.
She's like, "Well, I guess I'll have to hang out with you." But anyway, so we got this game called Fantasy Life, and I remember I think this is the game that I actually started to change up my character a little bit. So I would always make the character look like me. But in this game, I was like, okay, it's anime-ish, me-ish, kind of blended together. I'm gonna make my guy have blue hair. This is the first game that I was like, all right, well, my canonical character now, if he's a male, has blue hair. And I think now I changed that to, if I make a female character, I give him blue hair if it doesn't look stupid. So I played as the wizard, and let me tell you, the wizard is the most okay.
Of the combat classes.
Yeah, so this game's kind of cool because it does combat. There's like 16 classes.
There was 12.
Okay, there's 12. I know it's like an even number.
I don't know. It's
so what it is 6 of them you play as combat, but you can also play the game as passive. So then the other 6 are passive abilities. So like if you want to be a cook,
I think a
teacher, something else. So I was like, I'm gonna play as a wizard. Now the wizard, you have a magic bar, and I think that's your stamina bar and your magic. So when you're playing, you had it easy because you just played as like a paladin.
I played as the mercenary,
and so I
just look like an idiot.
Your attack and defense, or your attack and stamina were separate, whereas my magic was put on my stamina. So he's looking at the thing right now.
It does not appear to give me a class list.
Well, I don't want to spoil it. You could be in GameStop right now looking at it and be like, oh. But yeah, so I remember...
Oh, no, there they are. Mercenary, cook, angler, paladin, alchemist, hunter, wizard, woodcutter, miner, blacksmith, tailor, carpenter.
But I remember the other thing that I really hate about this game is the dragons, because the dragons look so
they look dumb.
Inefficient, or I think that's the word I'm looking for, where their heads are so giant. Their head is bigger than their body. And I just remember every time I saw a dragon, I'm like, that thing's going to fall on its face. But, yes, it doesn't have anything to do with spooky, but this game is reminding me, because I think I was working first shift, maybe? And so, when we come home, it began dark. And me and you would just co-op it and play it.
Yeah, co-op is a very strong word.
Yeah, because I think the other thing that sucks, too, is who's ever hosting, they only progress.
It didn't matter who was hosting. You could not progress if you
were
in a co-op game.
But I thought the only person hosting got the actually beat the missions.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe the story progressed.
Yeah.
But you could not progress your ranks.
Yeah, it's just so stupid. It was like the dumbest thing.
It's like, oh, you want to level up your skill? Well, that's unfortunate. Tell your buddy to leave.
Yeah, and then it was just stupid. It was. Do you have any memories you want to share of that, or?
I remember fighting the same dragon palette swapped at least 6 times.
Yeah, it's literally blue.
It was orange,
white,
blue, white, green,
crystal. There was a black one. I know that.
Yeah, there was a silhouette of one, and there might have been like a crystal one, but it was the same dragon. He's just there. I remember all the quote-unquote boss fights just being giant walls of text. Because they had to make it playable for people who decided to be the cook.
Right.
Or the tailor.
I think you tried to cook once.
I did try a support class, and I was just bored out of my mind.
Yeah.
And, like, it was just dumb as hell. But they had to make it so, like, everybody could progress. And so everything just settled itself. Like, oh, it was just a misunderstanding. I'm not actually the bad guy, and my dad is actually a pretty cool guy. He didn't kill the king or something. They just played checkers.
Yeah, I don't remember the ending. That's how
Well, that wasn't even the ending.
Oh, that wasn't the... Okay.
That was when you went to the Shadow Lord's town, and you talked to his kid, and he's like, yeah, yo, my dad and the king are, like, good friends, and they hate each other. And, like, they try to play tic-tac-toe together, and, like, somebody always cheats. And then it's just like, well, I guess they're friends again, so, well, go to the pirate town. Bye!
But, we'll move on from that. So that's something that happened in, like I said, November. And so that I always attribute that to October, even though it's not a scary game, and it's... But,
I mean, it could be worse. I attribute Bloodborne to Thanksgiving.
Interesting.
And that's because the DLC came out around Thanksgiving. And that's when I played it.
Now, Bloodborne wasn't the game that you dropped first, right? Because there was a game you played, and I think if I'm... that you didn't like, and then somehow Phil talked you in and
that was
given
Dark Souls 2.
Okay. That was the first one you played, right?
Technically, it's not the first one I owned. Like, I played Dark Souls 2 over at Phil's place. Because he's like, oh man, I gotta show you this game. And I'm like, okay. And I didn't care for it.
And was it Bloodborne that got you into the whole...
Yeah, Bloodborne came out and...
It basically popped a lot of people's cherries.
And I remember Phil talked it up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm buying a PS4. I might as well...
We'll play it.
I might as well try it. And... I was hooked. And then I think I waited like a week or two after the DLC came out, and coincidentally just played it on Thanksgiving. And so yeah, that's my fall game.
Nice. I remember where I was going. Oh, you said something.
Yeah.
So something that we do, usually do, probably every like 5 years, is we watch this movie called Scary Godmother.
It's not voluntary for
Oh,
me.
whatever.
You grab me and you're like, Jacob, you're watching this. I'm like,
you could walk away and you're like, you know what? I guess I will watch this.
No, I can't. You're watching in my room. You're watching it on my computer.
Only once. This movie came out on Cartoon Network like in 2006. Somewhere in there.
It was a while ago.
And remember, before, I guess back in like 2006, animation wasn't, hot stuff. But you didn't really notice it because nothing, besides Disney, nothing was really that polished. Basically think of somebody taking The Sims and turning it into a TV show or something like that.
Yeah.
So this movie we would watch. And I actually wanted to do it. I actually didn't think of this movie until after, which we'll get to the closing about what this episode really is promoting. But I thought about it, I was like, damn it, that should have been the first one, or that should have been the closer.
That requires you to own this movie, though.
Well, we can't. We never made that officially rules, but I'd find it on YouTube like what we usually did. Are you Amazoning it? See how much it costs?
I'm gonna.
All right, we're gonna do this live. We're seeing how much this movie costs. But so basically, what the movie's about is this girl. It's about Halloween and like her.
Oh, there's a DVD set.
Ooh, there's more than one. We just found out earlier before we start recording
there's a sequel at least.
Interesting. We just found out earlier that there's based on the books.
Okay, I think there's only 2 movies. Well, the sequel is $10.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
The first one, if I can find a price on it, they're being very coy about it.
Yeah, you have to go see.
Oh boy!
Oh, is it over $100?
It's $60 for
Really?
for DVD, and it's out of stock. There's a $45 one.
Interesting.
There's a $13 one.
Okay, that's not too bad.
And then that one's also out of stock. And then you got the $240 one.
I hope that one's in stock though.
No, it's out of stock.
Oh,
they're all
somebody
out,
actually bought it for $200.
they're all out of stock. Why is this one $240? What?
It's because they're going for the whales like us. They
As seen on Cartoon Network.
Exactly.
Oh, that face is horrifying. Look at the face of the little girl.
Oh wow. Wow, I don't remember her. I mean, I remember them not being that good looking, but if I do some editing on this, I'll try to fake that picture and put it on there. I see 16 minutes. I won't remember that, but
there you go. There's the sequel box art.
yeah, because that's her brother, right?
Yeah.
So like, what the premise? I've seen this movie 3 times.
Only 3?
I think maybe 4. I don't know. I'm not for sure. But I literally can't think of the premise. I just remember we watched that movie.
All right, so
Against his will. Remember this when he's explaining this.
so there's this group of friends. There's a guy who's dressed up as Satan.
That's a brother, right?
Yes. There is a girl. I don't remember what she's dressed up as. I don't think it matters. There's another guy who's dressed up as a baseball player inside of a car. He's got like a whole cardboard box car. And then they have... Oh, the girl's a cat.
Right.
And then they've got to babysit his sister, who's a tooth fairy or whatever. And they're like, oh, you know what you gotta do to prove you're not scared? You gotta go in this haunted house. And like, she's like, well, okay. So she goes in the haunted house, and they just sit there waiting for her.
Right, because the brother, the girl, and the kid in the car, they don't want to trick or treat with her.
It's not so much that the 2 friends don't want to trick or treat with her, but they're just kind of like, whatever. He's kind of our leader.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, what he says goes. Anyway, so she goes in the house, and then she's basically abducted by all these monsters. And hilarity ensues as she finds out monsters aren't bad people. They're just misunderstood. Also vampires. Anyway. So, they set up... They're like, okay, well... How about we get some revenge for you? We'll scare the pants off them. It'll be funny. And
one of them wants to eat the kids, but they're like, hey, no eating.
Does one of them want to eat
the
kids?
I think it's the werewolf.
No, because I think the werewolf just wants to eat candy and snacks.
But I think but he implies at the beginning when he meets the girl, he's like, oh, I can eat her or something.
Maybe. But yeah, no, so like, you got all your horror tropes. You got skeleton, you got witch, you got the vampire family. I hate the vampire family. They scare me.
Yeah, because it's what, like Dracula.
It's like a Nosferatu.
His wife and then his kid, who's about the same age as the girl.
No, he's like 300.
Well,
he looks like he's 16.
But he literally acts like he's maybe like.
And then there's
3 years older than her.
There's your generic monster you find under the bed, and then a werewolf. And the werewolf's kind of a jerk, a little bit, because he just wants... He's lazy.
Yeah. He's
lazy and he just wants to eat candy. But yeah, so they prank the teenagers, and then they're like, haha, it was just a prank. It was a prank, bro. and then they're like, okay, cool. And then the movie ends.
I guess it's really he loves this movie.
I hate this movie. I've seen it too many times. Mostly in my youth.
Yeah, because I think they played it every year.
Yeah, they played it every year, almost every week.
I wonder if I'm curious to see if they... I mean, I don't watch Cartoon Network anymore, but I'm curious to see if they still play it.
Probably not.
You know, I just found out, this isn't anything related to Halloween, but Caillou ended like 2 years ago.
Good.
It was still going.
I know. Caillou sucks.
But the other thing I wanted to talk about is the infamous video that we did for my channel that's no longer exists. So I just graduated from high school. So I was doing content on my channel that doesn't exist anymore. And so we were going around just kind of filming us being dumb on Halloween, like, trick or treating. And so we ended up getting to this one house, and prior to getting to this house, our friend Eric, who has been on this channel before.
He's a dad.
Oh, you saw I was gonna have people go out and search to see if they can find him. But he had said to you, he's like, hey, yeah, we should throw that candy in the house. And then
instead of taking candy, we should throw the candy.
Yeah, and then he later changed it to, well, just put the candy in the bowl. But I don't think you heard him at the time.
I don't think he changed that after.
Did he change that
after the fact happened?
Okay.
He's like, no, that's not what I meant. It's like, no, you said throw.
So we're going up to this house. I'm filming. I'm in the back. I wear glasses, so I had my mask on, so I didn't have my glasses on at the time. And you were throwing the candy in.
I gently lobbed it.
Which, yes, looking back now, I get where things went wrong, and I fully admit. So you had ran, Eric had ran, and I was about to run, but then the lady was like really upset. Like, she's like, what the fuck? What the hell is going on? Like, what? It's like panicking. So I'm like, hey, sorry, it's just a prank. Don't worry. It was just a piece of candy. And if I would have known what was coming next after this, I would have ran, because this guy was a complete asshole. I mean, understandably, but also a complete asshole. So her dad comes running out, and he's like, "What the fuck? What you doing in my house?" I was like, "Hey, we just threw a piece of candy. We were just doing a video. It was not meant to be anything." And so I'm standing there, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna call the police." I'm like, "Hey, you don't need to call the police. The police. It was just like, just go in there and look. It's just a piece of candy." So I'm standing there, and for some fucking reason, I'm glad you guys came back. But
I didn't come back immediately.
But I think
Eric came back for some reason.
Eric, I didn't know where you guys ran to, but Eric had come back, and he's just like, "Hey, yeah, we just threw a piece of candy," and the guy's like still like irate, like, "No, I'm going." Like,
you're gonna learn a lesson.
He had a hard on in this moment because he was so excited that he got to teach us a lesson. So and then you came back, and so he called the police, and the police are kind of like, "So what happened?" "Well, they threw candy in my house." And
that's like assault.
You want us to do what? Well, why won't you come here? And so they're kind of like, no. So
we'll be there in like half an hour. No, we'll freeze out here. Be here in like 5 minutes.
So we were just kind of talking, and we were just end up talking. Like, we literally, I was honestly just trying to de-escalate, like, kind of show them that, hey, we're not assholes. So I was like just trying to have a conversation with them and just talk to them. And so we ended up talking about how years ago, prior to this, I'm not going to get into it. But I'm sorry to leave you hanging. There's a reason I don't want to say anything, because somebody may see this and they might go, "Oh yeah." But I'll tell you after. But anyway, so I was telling him, like, yeah, something happened a few years ago around Halloween to us, and it's like, yeah, I can see why you got mad. Like I said, hindsight, like being 2020. I wish we didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But so the guy calls cops again. He's like, "Hey, you guys coming?" And they're like, "Okay, we'll be there." So they end up showing up, and they take us home. It's
right around the block.
We were like, yeah, it was like,
we were in the squad car for less than 3 minutes, and like even the cop was like, "Yeah, this is. You guys don't have any weapons on you, do you?" whatever.
Yeah, he didn't search us or anything. He just was like, get in the car.
Get in the back.
Because, like, at the time, I'm 18, you're 16, and, all right, we had to take a quick stop. So I think what we left off was talking about we were in the police car.
Yeah, and at the time you were 18, I was 16, Eric was probably 17 at the time.
Yeah, probably. Because I think
No, yeah.
Because his is in early of the year.
Yeah, so we were both 16.
So the cop was kind of like whatever. So we lived at the same house, so we got taken in, and our mom's sitting in the chair, and she's like, "I hope you didn't come home with the cops." And I was like, I was pissed. Like I said, the dude was all in his right to be mad, but I was like, at the time, I was like, seriously, dude, like, get over yourself. But so I walked in, I was kind of pissed, and then the officer walked in, and he just like, and my mom's like, her eyes just kind of like, oh. And I was just like, all right, well, they're done for the day. Don't want to see them back out. I was like, oh, don't worry. We're not going back out. And so that was our last time trick-or-treating. And
Yep. The best thing is, before we went out the first time, Eric's dad said, do not come home with the police. I do not want to see you come home with the police.
So I don't think. I mean, I'm not for sure. I'm not. I don't think Eric held a grudge, but I think in some way he kind of did hold that a little bit against me because I didn't run. Because if I would have ran, we wouldn't have been in that situation. But like,
I mean, it could have been worse if you ran.
True, it's true. It could. We never know. But I honestly, I really did just feel bad for that lady because I should look back now. This is before. All this crazy. I mean, there was a lot of crazy shit before this, but it wasn't as is whatever. But I was just like, okay, hey, sorry.
This was over 10 years ago.
I was like, hey, sorry, just it was a dumb prank. It was whatever, It was just like,
it was idiots being idiots.
Yeah, and if I would have known it would got to the level of the cops being called, I probably would have just ran. But
if I had known that was going to happen, I would have slapped Eric in the face and said no.
Yeah,
if we're doing it to somebody we know.
And also that day too, we went on the haunted house with Eric, and so we were in there, and I remember the scene of this guy grabbing like out of the this barcade, these bars. And I remember he literally grazed my face, like he didn't touch it, but he got really close. I never flinched. Like I don't know if my brain just wasn't processing it. But here's the joke. Now when I work, I'm a second shift janitor. And so for some reason, I'm just jumpy now. So if somebody just comes walking in, I'm like, oh, Jesus. Like, I didn't know that. It's like I work in a 24-hour building. So I should know there's people there, but...
I think my favorite part of that whole thing is... before we went in, I was having second thoughts. I'm like, I'm just going to wait in the car. It wasn't because I was scared...
Before you went into the haunted house?
Yeah. It wasn't because I was scared of what was in the haunted house. It was because at the time, I was feeling really claustrophobic with all the people.
Right.
And it's just like, look, I don't want to have to deal with this. Because I had some issue from, like, the end of sophomore year to senior year.
Yeah.
And it was just, I hated being around large groups of people in tight spots.
This would be before coronavirus.
But yeah, no, we got in there, and after we got in, I basically just started cracking jokes.
What?
We got stuck in a dark room, and like, so one of the people like popped out, and then they disappeared again, and they jumped back behind the curtain. I'm like, no, come back, we need your help.
Yeah, so I was going to bring up the scene because there was we were in that dark room. And we couldn't see the fucking arrows on the ground.
Yeah, it was completely black.
So, like, we didn't know if we were going forward. So,
like, come back, guide us out.
So, it was me, you, Eric, and his dad. And we're like, hey, we can't find our way.
And probably some other people.
I think they were coming up. I don't think they were in there just yet. But I think at the time that the guy came out and grabbed us, I think then the other people were coming up. But, yeah, I just remember, I'm like, I don't know where we're going. Like, because I'm looking on the ground. I can't see crap. you know. But
I remember looking forward. I'm just like, I don't want to stumble into something.
I've never seen that darkness before. But yeah, I think we started just making jokes, which I think seen enough. So I don't think there's a lot of horror movies out at this time about people going to haunted houses that are actually not haunted houses, but haunted. What do they call? Maybe they just call it haunted houses. Like,
I mean,
for
like in a
haunted amusement park. No, it's not that.
like a haunted tour.
Yeah, like haunted tour. But like, there's more movies now than there was before. That the people like, yeah, sign a waiver and come on in here, and then they start getting killed. You know, it turns into like a horror movie.
Yeah, fun fact: they can punch you now, and they can knife you. It's real.
There's some place in Iowa. I think they do that. I think they say they will touch you.
Oh, I thought it was Illinois that did it.
Maybe it was Illinois.
And it's like, yeah, no, the first. It's like a skyscraper kind of deal. Like it's a tall building, and like the first 25 floors or something, they won't make contact, and then you have to sign a waiver going into the 26th floor, and that's like, this is where they're going to like
touch you.
This is where they're going to make contact, and they will probably do things.
So like we made jokes back in that time, but I don't know if today I would make jokes because of all the movies I've seen, or like, oh, you're being a funny wise guy now, and they actually like hit you. And it's like, oh, wait, well, I'm bleeding now.
No, that man was behind a jail cell door. He couldn't get out.
But I think there's a video idea I want to do, and I'm bringing it up to you now. So we do have another channel that's on YouTube still, and we've been inactive for a long ass time. But there's a character that spawned. I'm not going to name the name because then if you type Google in, I don't think you'll find it.
Is it GT?
GT, no.
That's not his initials?
No, it's DK.
Ah, Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what the fuck you're talking
about. You got a costume with a demon face, and you wore that multiple times, and you were always iterate on the costume. I think you were a ninja with the mask on.
Oh, I see.
And so you turn that character into an actual character for one of our YouTube channels at the time.
Yeah, the famous character of Donkey Kong.
Yeah. And so, I don't know where I was going with that, but I was thinking of costumes. Like, is there any costumes? Because this is our Halloween episode. This is the one year in the making that I just sprung on you earlier today. I'm like, hey, by the way, yeah, this is going to lead into something.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any costumes that you liked, or did you have anything that you liked doing?
Like you said, I was always a ninja. I think I had like 6 different ninja costumes. And then I started to mix and match. And the character ended up having a costume that was like 3 sizes too small. It was because of we weren't allowed to show our faces, so we used a mask. And yeah. But yeah, no, like the costumes, tiny ninja costume.
Yeah, I think I don't remember having a costume that I. There's one character.
Was it the M&M when you dressed up as an M&M?
I don't know why I dressed up as an M&M, but there's this one character.
You were running down the street. Eat me.
There's a character,
and everybody was just like, "Okay, kid, stay away from that one."
that I created after you, like years after you created your Demon's Mask one, and so it became Rick. And I remember me and you got to do some videos together with this costume, but it was a pirate mask.
Yeah.
That I turned into something. Well, the top ripped off and
you pulled the hair off, and you're just like, well, it's a skeleton now.
Yeah, it's a cool mask, but I think that's the only costume that I think I liked.
I honestly can't think of any of the other costumes.
I don't. We didn't go trick or treating.
I know I was a Power Ranger for like 3 years running. Power Ranger Ninja. That was like.
Well, we didn't have a lot of money back then, so like we had to buy not cheap costumes, but they had to be reasonable.
Yeah.
And so I think for you, you're like, oh, I'll just combine costumes. And for me, I was always buying something new because I always want to do something new each year. I don't remember any of the costumes besides the M&M and the pirate mask. I think it was a Power Ranger too as one. But wow, I literally just lost my train of thought.
We did end up with a lot of costumes.
Oh,
we went
yeah.
We went into Walmart the day after.
That's where I was going. Literally, that's where I was going with that. There was back in was it 2012? I think it was.
Probably.
No. When did these costumes get made? Because we were going to do a wrestling.
It would have had to have been after 20. It was. It was probably 2011, 2012.
Yeah, because I think we still had the other YouTube channel at the time. Mm-hmm. It was already starting to kind of fade because not a lot of people showed up. Well, we just got older and
1 year older to be precise.
Yeah. So we went into Walmart and they had all these costumes on sale, and actually one of them, the GameStop salesman, was one of the costumes that came out of. Came out of the that deal at Walmart. I also used that costume on. It's not Chatterbait because I think that's the porn site. What's that?
Chat Roulette.
Chat Roulette. Yeah. I used that pumpkin as one of my the channel that doesn't exist anymore. And I remember just wearing it, and people were like popping up and going, "Whoa," and then clicking off.
Oh man, Eric and I did a chat roulette once with masks on, and we had like a tic-tac-toe board.
Oh, nice!
And we just challenged people to tic-tac-toe.
Nice. We should do. I don't want to do something like that because I'm like I like being my own bubble, and what I mean by that is I'm an introvert, so I don't like talking to people.
I just don't want to see any dicks.
Yeah, I don't want to see any dicks. Well, I'm on Chatterbait. Why the fuck do I keep seeing penises? Demonetized. We didn't have any, like, there was only one house that gave out big candy bars. And it was, like, on the next street over, up where we got arrested at that very top of the hill. I think he was the only one.
I don't remember that. I remember one year going up there, and I think it was around the end of the night, and he's just like, take whatever. Just stick your grubby little hands in there.
I remember
take
that.
Whatever.
I wasn't there because I think we were going out together, and then I got tired.
Yeah.
So I went home, and
I think it was myself and Cabbage.
And then you came home, and you're like, yeah, this house. I was like, mother. I was like, God damn.
I took Cabbage up the street, and yeah, we just ended up with a whole bunch of Crunch bars.
I'm not sure. This is out of how many episodes we did. I think we finally just mentioned Caleb. I mean, we didn't mention Kit. What?
I've been calling him Cabbage.
I know you've been calling him Cabbage, but I was like, we've been slowly bringing our old counterparts into the channel over the years. A lot of them came through last year, and I don't know if Caleb came or Cabbage came in.
Call him whatever now.
Hey, you brought up he's a dad now. Like, that's gonna give it away. I was like, yeah, he's on this channel.
But we already know who Eric is.
No, we don't.
You had brought up Eric already.
Well, I brought up Eric. I didn't say he's been on it. I was gonna say he's been on this channel, and then you gave away the title of the movie.
Whatever.
Funny enough, I think both those costumes that he's wearing in that came from that Walmart deal.
Yeah, the big old dollar bill.
And the shittier pirate mask one.
You had a mask on?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the only reason I posted it, just because he wasn't seen. You can look it up right now?
No.
I was going to say give it another view.
I'm just checking the time.
Well, you can check the time right there. It's
I realize that, but it's far away. It's far away, and I have bad eyesight now.
We'll start wrapping it up. So the reason why, one, I wanted to do this because I've been thinking, usually around Halloween I do get, like I said, out of fall. Halloween and Thanksgiving, more Black Friday, just because I like hunting for DVDs, but
Black Friday is the bane of my existence.
Oh, I know.
I have to get up early.
It usually it wasn't the bane of my existence, but I usually end up working it because I worked a 24-hour job. prior to where I'm working now, and I still have to work that day if people don't take the OT, then you get forced on. But I remember I would always end up working Black Friday. I was like, okay.
I think of the 9 years I've been working, I've worked every single Black Friday.
That's an achievement, Jacob.
No, it's not. I hate it.
But so like I said, October is usually when the time I get excited. So the reason why we're doing this video is one, because it's a year overdue, because it was literally the last Corn Bros idea. I mean, I have more on my phone, not on this phone, but on my previous phone of ideas for the thing that I wanted to do. But I remember I was like psyched because I wanted to talk about the cop thing, and I want to talk about Godmother. And I was like, okay, well, we're doing a series. This is going to be a start of a series. It's going to be, there's 5 movies.
Shark Week, yes.
Yes, we're doing Shark Week Part 2. You guys named it so much.
Oh, no, this is the prelude to Shark Week the first.
So
tomorrow we're going to show off Shark Huntress.
Oh, yeah, you're right, yep.
And then
I hope this doesn't
Ouija Shark.
I hope this doesn't get delayed to October. I mean, it's not.
Man, that would suck.
God, really.
But we've got Ouija Shark planned. We've got Sharks of the Corn, 2-headed shark attack, giant shark versus mega octopus, mega shark versus giant octopus.
There's
one more, at least.
So you got Ouija, you got the Shark Huntress.
Oh, it was Deep Blue Sea 3.
Yeah, well, that was an extra.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, did you name all of them?
Yeah, that was all 6 of them.
Okay, I wasn't actually listening to what you were naming off.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I was listening, but like I was trying to do like a mental check note of like, okay, which one's he missing, and then, but yeah. So we said I think we said in the wrap up of the Shark Week that we wanted that if people wanted it, we would do a Halloween. Well, nobody wanted it, but I wanted to do it. So
here it is anyway.
So I'm not gonna give away.
Here's all the spoopy movies, all 6 of them.
But as of this recording, we just finished the last one. So we literally started in September, did 3 in a row, I believe, and then we took like a hiatus of like 2 to 4 weeks.
Something like that.
Then we finished up the last 2. So I was like, okay, wanted to do a Corn Bros Halloween special, and then wanted to introduce our new series. So it's called Scare Corn. And literally in the first episode, you're going to hear me say, well, I didn't think of, after the long intro, I'm like, I don't know, I wasn't thinking what we were going to call this. So it's called Scare Corn. I think, to be honest with you, all the movies we watched, I liked all these better than the Shark Week.
There were a few that dragged.
There was one that was probably worse than all the ones. I'm not gonna give it away, but there was one that was the worst out of all the movies we watched.
Yeah, of all the movies, of all like.
Thank God, when I went home that day, it was still bright out, so I still felt like there was some hope that I could do something outside. But,
yeah.
I don't think we're not gonna do a wrap up for the Scare Corn. So, do you have anything you want to wrap up before they get into it? You don't give away anything, but
wouldn't I have to unwrap then? Like to unwrap so they can see it?
Yeah, you're basically gonna be shaking and saying like what you think you.
Yeah, let me shake the. I ain't got nothing to shake.
It's okay. It's your DVD or it's your music thing in there. Yeah.
Oh man, this 4th movie, it's a real winner.
You mean 5th one?
No, the 4th one. That's the one I'm shaking, the 4th one.
Oh! Wow, that went right over that went right over my head.
Just you looking at the box like...
Well, I'm like, that's the fucking 5th movie! What am I missing here?
You know that gif of the lady doing the math? It's just like random equations.
She looks up, then to the right, and then down, and then it's like whacking.
I saw that. I saw the math floating around your face, and you're just like...
I'm like, are you being stupid right now? That's the 5th one. But no, I
was actually talking about the 4th individual movie.
Okay.
Which I don't remember. Oh, wait. No.
That was a double feature.
I know it was a double feature. Just don't know which double feature.
It's a video game one.
No, because the fourth individual movie would have been.
Oh, okay. You're going in actual.
Yeah, it would have been on the third set.
What was that one?
I think.
No, it's the shitty one. I guarantee it's the shitty one.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
No, because I've been third.
I don't know. Whatever.
Wait. Before we forget, we are going to be doing. I'm introducing. Two more things we're introducing in this final one. You would come up with you want to do video game movies, so we're gonna start that. I don't know when that's gonna start, but we're.
It's not gonna be a week-long event.
Right. It's gonna be weekly. Is that fine with you?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
So we can just watch one.
We're just gonna watch a movie anyway.
And then after Scare Corn, we are doing. I believe it's probably gonna be about 6 to 8 episodes. It probably won't be that many. Of does this movie still scare you? And I'll get into the premise when the first movie comes out. But yeah, so be looking forward to that, and I hope you guys enjoyed the Scare Corn.
They haven't seen the Scare Corn yet.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping they enjoy the Scare Corn.
I thought you said enjoyed, like past tense.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I might have said that, but I might have been meaning to say I hope you guys enjoyed the Scare Corn.
I don't know, whatever.
All right, well, guys, it's been nice seeing you. I'm literally saluting you right now. Goodbye.